Our next guest is. Do we not? You want to introduce our next guest?
I would like to. I would enjoy introducing Kevin Diamond. Kevin is a partner at Shea Diamond Rico and Murphy. And Kevin, speaking of intellectually stimulating, you have a practice that involves some very interesting, meaty cases too, in your litigation journey and other areas. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. So I've been practicing for about 20 years, and a lot of my cases come from my background. I started off as an accountant, as a CPA, and early in my career I ended up doing a lot of forensics, accounting forensics, and after getting my CPA and working in the forensics area, I decided to go to law school, but I became a securities fraud investigator for the Commonwealth of Mass. So I was able and involved in some insider trading cases against Wall Street companies. And then the feds came along and doubled my salary, and I was off being a federal investigator doing bank fraud for 5 years.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was very interesting. It was from 1990 to 1995 when all of the banks in this region were failing.
Correct.
I was 41 of 42 on indictments to convictions, but my job was to determine civil and criminal liability in bank failures. And the best part about it, it was a co-op job because I was going to law school at night for those 4 of those 5 years.
Wow.
And so it was a great area to help me to prepare my career to follow up in law.
Now you have, as you talked about, you have the CPA background, then litigation and some of the work you did with the government, but your CPA, you've done a lot of IRS whistleblower cases too, correct?
About 4 years ago, the law was amended, and the IRS is now allowed for whistleblowing. And so an individual can bring forth a case against either an individual or a corporation, and if the damages are over $2 million, the IRS may deem to pursue it. So it's not, the good thing about that exemption of $2 million is it can't be an ex-wife trying to blow the whistle on her ex-husband for charging off his Patriots tickets, but rather they're truly looking for fraud where someone is defrauding the government.
So, you've had a lot of careers. Why are you picking this part of what you're doing today to be your focus?
Well, in the law, what I found is that I like representing people. I like having my own practice. The law to me is almost like sports. It's competition. A lot of my practice focuses, as we said, on the whistleblowing. A lot of it has evolved into either probate litigation or elder fraud. And the reason is because I'm so uniquely qualified. A lot of people, where there's an allegation of fraud, don't know how to prove it. But I can get through a set of financial records without having the burden of bringing in an expert, being able to go through and to follow the money, unlike many other attorneys. Many attorneys were either English majors or history majors, and what my experience is, very few are accounting majors. And so what's unique is I can follow the money and advise a client whether they should pursue a matter or not pursue a matter.
You decided to become an entrepreneur, in a sense. Not only are you an attorney, but you are an entrepreneur starting your own firm. What have you learned about being an entrepreneur that's different than being a lawyer?
That people that are entrepreneur are the happiest people because they're captains of their own destiny. And they're fearless, and they're people that aren't afraid to take a chance. And so it's like evaluating a case. My son once criticized me because I don't like to go to casinos or I don't care for gambling. And when he finally understood what it was to take a case on a contingency fee and work it for 6 years, and only to prevail then, he realized that it was an entrepreneurial enterprise. But entrepreneurial people are what made this country great.